so that wasn't bad. You were seeing the ball huge today. Can you just talk about how you found that?
Yes, I was hitting quite clear today, and I was feeling very comfortable on the court with my shots. Every time when I had kind of the opportunity to move her around, I was using that every time. I was not trying to play safe on some key moments. I was just, everything was like going from me. You know, I was trying to take it from her, not giving her in any time, you know, because when Kiki is having time, she can go run with the forehand. She can create some great angles and shots, you know, especially with the backhand as well. She can slice, she can drop shot, and at the net, she's one of the best player. You know, she's using this really smart, and when she was down in the score, she was actually swinging and using this net game a lot.
Talk about nights like this when your belief in your shots, it really just backs it up and you can really go for it.
Yeah, not every day you have nights like that. When you're in the semifinal of such a prestigious event, you know, and you're fighting for the final. And yeah, of course, it's not easy, you know, to hold your nerve, but I'm really happy the way I handle it again. You know, I was very focused. I was very concentrated on every point, and I was not thinking about the final. I was just thinking particularly about every single game, every single shot. Like, I need to build opportunity. I was really trying to be leading in the score, you know, because it's very important, you know, when you're up in the score and when you're always behind, you know. So Kiki was always trying to play her best tennis when she was behind on the score, and it's not easy to come back from 5-love and from 5-1, you know, it's not easy at all. So even I know that at 5-4 it was a big game for me on my serve. I was still like kind of trying to myself that I'm still ahead of this game, you know, I'm still serving for the match, you know, it's not like I'm down 4-5 in the final set, you know. So all this kind of positive thinking and experience as well, because I was serving a lot of times for the match in doubles, for the finals, Grand Slam finals, championship finals, Olympic Games finals. So I kind of had this kind of pressure, even in doubles. It's still pressure when you're serving for the match and you need to close such a big match for you.
You know, how different is your mentality in those pressure moments now compared to maybe where your mind would maybe wander 5 years ago?
I think it's in a much better place now than it was 5 years ago. I definitely built some confidence. I definitely have some more consistency through the match, through the year as well. You know, I'm playing better and better every game, and it's not a surprise for me, to be honest. I'm not feeling like, oh my God, I'm playing so great, where it came from. You know, I knew that I can play well. I knew that I have the game, I have the shots, I have the serve. It was just about the consistency and using the right shots on the right moment. Don't panic, don't rush, you know, stay focused. You know, that's what, it's actually a goal for me to play like this for the whole year, because all the top 10 players, biggest players, that's their big weapon. They always staying cool on the like tough moments, and they picking the right shots on the right moment. They don't, and they don't giving anything. So that was kind of my game plan as well for the off season. I was trying to work on my mental part to be strong on this kind of momentum. It's not easy, you know, it's easy to say like, I'm working, but when you're on the match, you know, it's just, you can just lose the momentum and lose your rhythm, and it's just gone.
How do you work on that though in the off season? Because you haven't got the match practice, you haven't got that kind of pressure. What do you do? Just meditate?
By education, I'm a sports psychologist. I finished university, and I'm reading a lot of books about that. Not a lot of books, let's be honest. Yeah, I read a couple of books.
Big books.
Big books, yeah, they were big books, yeah. And yeah, I'm trying, actually, it's great examples to read sometimes biography of the champions like Agassi. I'm waiting when they're going to translate Lina biography on English and on Russian. It's interesting actually to see on the examples of other players, you know, because they're always saying, it's actually very interesting sometimes to read the interview of the big champions, what they were feeling. Of course, they're not going to be 100% honest with you, but still, this kind of things, it's also helping you, you know, and as well, when you're talking with these champions in the locker room as well, you know, some giving your advices, like Martina Navratilova, I know her for many years, and she was kind of always giving me some little advices in the locker room, you know, trying to not help me, but kind of cheer me up, you know, in the tough moments. And yeah, all these things, it's also coming with the years on the tour. I'm not the new person on the tour. I'm playing for many years, and I had a couple of, you know, many of the situations when I was down in the score, coming back, you know, had the tough seasons, you know, so it's just matter of how you feel and how you believe in yourself, I think, same time.
What hit home for you in the Agassi book?
What?
Was there anything in the Andre Agassi book? Did you say you read that?
Yes, yes.
What hit home for you?
A lot of things, how he was working, how he was coming back after this bad moment in his life when he was down in the ranking, divorced, I mean, all this like tough moments in your personal life, and he will still be able, you know, to kind of going on the court and enjoying what he was doing. You know, he was really, he loved the sport so much. He loved tennis so much. Even he didn't, I think, like to practice much. On the book, he was not saying that he was enjoying it that much. But yeah, it's a great example of the player who was on the top and then on the very bottom, and everybody forget about him, nobody believed in him, and he was still doing the same thing, same job, you know, and he like worked his way back, like totally work it out, you know. It's just, it's a respect, you know, to this person.
You know, that sounds a lot like you. Like,
No, yeah, no, nothing to compare to the great champion like Agassi, but
a year ago, you lost in qualies here. In
first round in qualies, yeah.
And now, you know, with everything, made Charleston final and stuff. I mean, can you talk about that journey from being, you know, a bit forgotten at the beginning of last season? And
yeah, that was a big turnaround now for me, from first round of quali and now being in the final. This is the dream, you know, and I hope it's a great example for other players, you know, that everything can happen. If you believe in yourself, you know that you have the game, you know, and even when nothing is going your way and you're losing in the first round of qualification, what can be worst, you know? It's for the tennis players, I think it's the worst result you can get, first round, you know, and that doesn't matter, singles, qualifying or main draw. Don't put yourself down and keep building these wins, because last year actually I played a lot of tournaments from the quali, and it helps me, you know. I was playing from the beginning against not the top 50 players. Let's say I was playing against players who was like outside of the top 100, same ranking as mine, and I was getting these wins. Like, it was hard, you know, not easy without confidence, but still win is the win, you know. And I was going through the qualification, then I won the first round in major, then in Miami I had great match against Venus, like, you know, I pulled like great tennis on that moment when I really need that. Then I lost 7-6 in the third to Konta. I know that she's a great player, and she was a top 10. She's a top 10 now player, you know. So this kind of things gives you a belief, you know, that you're almost there. Your ranking is not there, but your game is there. And I think this is the most important, thinking about your game, not about your points. I'm going to be 71 or 65 or 27 or something. It doesn't really matter. I think the most important thing is when you're number one in the world. That's I think, that's amazing, you know, and everything else is just, you have to, I mean, I said before, you have to enjoy what you're doing. You have to appreciate what you have.
you're into the final, obviously, and I mean, do you remember the first time you came here?
Yes.
What it was
I
like?
actually remember it so good.
Really?
Yes, I was 16 years old, and it was my first time in America, like ever. I came here, and my ranking was around 250, and I didn't get into the quali. Like, I didn't know how to enter to the tournament, first of all. I entered, but I didn't know where to check the entry list. You know, I was totally kid, you know, who came here, and I didn't get in. But when I just got here, I looked outside. I was like, oh my God, I want to live here. It's just, and I was staying with a really nice old lady in her house. She had like 2 cars. One was convertible. She had a garden with oranges, with grapefruits. You know, everything was just so beautiful here. And the tournament, the facilities. You know, I saw so many courts. I think first time in my life. You know, like having a gym. You know, a player lounge, locker rooms, everything on such a high level. It was for me the first time that I saw, and I was like, whoa, I really, really want to play this tournament. And I was dreaming just to get here, to be honest, you know, next year, and then just to play here. And I always were thinking that I want to play here well in singles, but the result was not coming. You know, in doubles I won 3 times title here, and in singles it was just not going this way. So finally, this year, after all these years, yeah, I'm in the final.
Can you talk about potentially the 2 opponents, what kind of games they would bring against you?
Potentially it can be a Russian final. Svetlana, we played, I think, few times against each other, 3, 4 times. I beat her once, but then she beat me last, I think, time on clay. She obviously likes playing here, you know, with the balls flying and jumping quite high. She's using her forehand, like powerful forehand top spin here a lot, and it brings you a lot of points. And what I saw in a couple of matches against, that Svetlana was playing, she was serving really well on the key moments. So it's going to be a very difficult match, you know, when you're playing against your kind of the same, if you're from the same country, you know, it's never easy, but I'm going to just enjoy it. Doesn't matter if it's going to be Pliskova or Kuznetsova. You know, Pliskova is number 3 in the world. She's definitely having amazing season, and she improved so much from, like, I think she's one of the few players on the tour who improved like in 2 years a lot. Like Pliskova, let's say 2 years ago, and now it's totally different player. And she's in the semifinal, of course, so it's going to be not easy match for both of them, and doesn't matter who I'm going to play. For me, it's going to be a very difficult match. One is number 3 in the world, another one is like number 7 in the world, so they're both top 10 players, and it's not easy, but I hope I can play the good tennis in the final. I hope I can enjoy it, and I hope I can show the best tennis as well in that final.
And it just, sorry, you can just on that with Pliskova and her improvement. Can you go into that a little bit? Like Karolina from 2 years ago, how different of the player is she now?
She started working a lot, working on her fitness, on her footwork. I think the thing that actually changed in her game, she started bending her knees. And I mean, it's not easy with the height she has. You know, she's a very tall girl, and she really improved in her movement on the court. And I think she started to defending, you know, on the baseline. And she's working well with her new coach, David. And I mean, we know that he was coaching Petra, and Petra was doing really well with him. And yeah, she's definitely improving. I think every time what I see her, you know, 2-3 years ago she was very relaxed, not working much on the court, you know, like. But the good thing about Karolina, she didn't change at all since I saw her first time, and now, I mean, she didn't change at all. I mean, that personality. She's such a like quiet and cool girl. You know, she's really a funny girl at the same time. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.